he's gonna tell me he bring some DVDs back. I let him borrow the week before.
At 2 a.m.?
At 2 in the morning, Yana.
True.
I go upstairs, she in panties and a t-shirt, no bra, awake.
I get babies dropped off here, dropped off there. I'm sick
I'm not
of
dropping
it.
it.
But
And
Miss-
it stops today, because that baby is not my son.
She's a liar because you just had a wild that got shut down by the police station last week.
Why is she going after the other man for child support in 1984? And he's a roofer, and roofers only works part of the time. I'm in the military in 1984. If I'm the dad, why didn't you go after me then? I pay child support on my other kids.
The courtroom was buzzing right out of the gate. The episode begins with Ms. McBurg petitioning the court for a DNA test to determine if her son, Kakito Hughes, is the father of Ms. Jackson's 2-year-old son, Elijah Jackson. She also claims defamation of character, accusing Ms. Jackson of calling her and her family deadbeats on social media. Strap in, because this roller coaster is just taking off.
You petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove your Kakito Hughes is not father of Ms. Jackson's 2-year-old son. You're suing Ms. Jackson for $1,000 for defamation of character because you claim she posted comments on social media claiming you and your family are deadbeat.
Things heated up quickly with accusations flying left and right. Ms. McBurg aggressively describes Ms. Jackson with disparaging terms and shows a photo as evidence to prove that Elijah does not resemble any member of her family, asserting the impossibility of Kakito being the father based on the child's appearance. The court's reaction was a mix of shock and awe, setting the scene for even juicier gossip to follow.
The little boy looks nothing like my son or any member of my family at all.
A photo of your son and the child in question, and you say the child looks nothing like your son.
That baby white as snow. There's no way that be my grandchild or my son's baby. He has no features like none of us.
You won't believe the drama unfolding here. The nature of Ms. Jackson and Mr. Hughes' relationship is questioned. Ms. Jackson asserts that they were in a committed relationship and that he was the only person she was intimate with during that period, a claim which Ms. McBurg vehemently disputes, labeling Ms. Jackson as a mere snack cake or side affair to her son. The next twist in this tale is just around the corner, and it's a doozy.
So how long have you been in a relationship?
Well, maybe about 15, 18 months.
Were you in a committed relationship?
I thought we was.
Was he the only person you were intimate with during that time?
She knows she lying.
This DNA right here has been in our life. She's never was a girl. You are a vampire. You are just a fly-by-night. He didn't know anything about you. He's been in a relationship 10 years.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more intense. Ms. McBurg expresses her exhaustion and frustration over numerous women claiming her son is the father of their children, revealing the personal strain and skepticism towards Ms. Jackson's claims. What happens next? Well, the tension hits a new peak that you won't want to miss.
I get babies dropped off here, dropped off there. I'm sick
I'm not
of
dropping
it.
it.
But
And
Miss-
it stops today, because that baby is not my son.
She's a liar because you just had a wild that got shut down by the police station last week.
Hello?
Oh, ma'am.
Yes,
that
you
is
did.
not
Yes,
true.
you did. Yes, you
There's
did.
some hoes in this
That
house.
is
It is true because why is your neighbors complaining about the sex?
Oh, the plot thickens. Court examines a picture of Mr. Hughes kissing the child, Elijah. Ms. McBurg finds it upsetting, firmly believing that Elijah is not her grandson. The discussion shifts to potential other fathers, questioning if Mr. Hughes' brother could be the father, considering he also had a relationship with Ms. Jackson. Buckle up. The revelations coming up are jaw-dropping.
When you look at this picture,
It make me want to throw up.
it seems your son is kissing the baby. It makes you want to,
Because it's a
why?
lie.
For your son to be kissing an innocent child?
Because it's not here.
It doesn't matter, really. Your brother is sleeping with her and not using protection. Couldn't he possibly be Elijah's father?
Not in this case.
Mama's babies, papa's maybe.
Talk about a bombshell revelation. The topic of parental recognition arises when it is revealed that Elijah occasionally calls other men daddy, which Ms. Jackson explains as a mistake due to the child's confusion around men who resemble his father. The courtroom is abuzz, and the next statement promises to stir the pot even more.
And I heard her tell another guy who was out in the parking lot, she told him, she said, Cash, come on with daddy.
I've heard him call other dudes daddy, though. She makes it hard on herself because she feels a lot of doubts in the situation.
When he sees somebody light-skinned, my son sees somebody, because he's not there every day and all day, you know. So when my son sees like a tall light-skinned guy with a head on, he's daddy, and I'm like,
No, that man was black.
No.
This is where things really heat up. The lawsuit regarding the defamation claim is addressed. Ms. McBurg claims Ms. Jackson defamed her and her family on social media, affecting their reputation. However, due to a lack of concrete proof, the judge dismisses the defamation claim. Stay tuned, because the climactic moment of truth is next, and it's a stunner.
She going around telling everybody, well, we're deadbeat. We don't do nothing for the baby. How am I supposed to do something for a child that I don't know what's
But
Other
what
girls.
proof did you bring to court that these
proof?
statements occurred?
If I had my phone, I'd pull up the Facebook where she posted on Facebook.
I want
We need
that.
proof
You
that
did.
she
You
defamed
I never
you.
said anything about you guys, and I never will, because I have
First of all,
no
you wanna-
respect in
you-
And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for. The episode concludes with the revelation of the DNA test results.
And whether Mr. Hughes is the father, Mr. Hughes, you are Elijah's father.
No! That's a lie! That's a lie!
Well, strap in for this soap opera. Miss Carroll steps up to the plate with a mission. She's here to prove that Mr. Parr is indeed the father of their 3-year-old tornado, Dawson. She's convinced that clearing up this paternity question will heal their fractured family life. Mr. Parr throws back some serious skepticism, doubting he's the dad and tired of the roller coaster they've been on. And if you thought this was juicy, just wait for the curveball coming up.
Miss Carroll, you say you are here to save your family. You are certain Mr. Parr is the biological father of your 3-year-old son, Dawson. You say his denial has torn your family apart, and you are here to put his doubts to rest.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on to your coffee, folks. Miss Carroll drops a major bombshell about a fateful camping trip that might just explain the whole paternity puzzle. It was supposed to be a break from Mr. Parr, but turned into a plot twist with another man making a guest appearance. This revelation throws a wrench into the works, setting the stage for even more eyebrow-raising details.
We went on a camping trip, we had some drinks, went on the lake, thing led to another, and I hooked up with somebody else. We were not together. We got back home, I don't know, a couple weeks or so, and then we had ended up fixing things, and we had gotten back together. I just didn't feel like myself.
Oh boy, it gets thicker. Just when you think you've got a grip on the story, Miss Carroll talks about how quickly she turned a pregnancy test positive, which muddles up the timeline even more. Was Mr. Parr shooting blanks, or is he the sharpshooter after all? The suspense is killing, but keep your socks on. The expert's about to make a grand entrance.
I ended up going to the doctor right after I took the pregnancy test. I don't know, a couple days later, I made a doctor's appointment and went to the doctor. They told me the date I conceived was the weekend that I was on the camping trip. The next week, I went and got an ultrasound done. Dawson was measuring farther than what I was. They could not give me an exact due date, so they said by the ultrasounds and seeing how far along I was, that their original date of conception was wrong.
Here's where it gets medically spicy. A sudden health scare with little Dawson points to diabetes, a villain lurking in Mr. Parr's gene pool, but nowhere in Miss Carroll's family album. This genetic breadcrumb could lead us back to Daddy Parr, or is it a red herring? Grab your popcorn. The science guru is about to take the stage, and you'll want a front row seat.
Me or anyone on my side of the family was diabetic. And I told them no, but I know Chris is diabetic. Diabetes runs in his side of the family. They told me that diabetes could have loss of circulation, which could be why his feet and hands and lips were turning purple. So that to me also made me think, okay, well, there it is. There's more proof that he's yours. No one in my side of the family has diabetes.
And now for a bit of science with a side of drama. Dr. Samantha Brown Parks strides in to break down the nitty-gritty of pregnancy tests like it's CSI Paternity Court. Could the quick test result mean Mr. Parr's the dad, or is it just a fluke? Buckle up. We're about to dive into the deep end of genetics.
And so I want to hear from you. Is there something to her testimony? She felt like Mr. Parr would have been the child's father because how quickly those lines came up on that pregnancy test.
The minute sperm and egg come together and implant on your uterine wall, there is a hormone that's released called beta-human chorionic gonadotropin.
Here comes the moment of truth, folks. The envelope, please. The results are in, and the courtroom holds its breath as the judge reveals that Mr. Parr, drumroll please.
I think we are at a place where our theories and our testimony have taken us as far as we can go. So I have the results for you. Jerome, may I have the envelope, please? It has been determined by this court. Mr. Parr, you are not the father.
Buckle up, folks. The courtroom drama kicks off with a bang. The episode begins with Mr. Bradley expressing his lifelong confusion about his father's identity, hoping for answers through a DNA test. Mr. Tessner, on the other hand, is adamant that he isn't Mr. Bradley's father, mentioning another man's name on the birth certificate and questioning the timeline of conception. The introduction sets the stage for a complex family mystery involving disputed paternity and personal anguish. And just when you think you've got a grip on it,
Mr. Bradley, you say for 19 years you've wondered, who is my father? And you're hoping today's DNA test solves your intra-family mystery. Mr. Tessner, you claim you are 100% sure you are not Mr. Bradley's father. Say another man is on his birth certificate and paid child support. You say the dates of conception do not add up.
Yes, Your Honor, that's right.
can you feel the tension? Because it's palpable. Mr. Bradley shares his personal struggles of growing up fatherless, detailing the emotional impact of attending social activities without a paternal figure. He recounts a pivotal moment when his aunt revealed the possible identity of his father during a heated argument with his mother, leading to a strained and sporadic relationship with Mr. Tessner. This revelation fueled Mr. Bradley's quest for paternal connection, highlighting the deep-seated emotional ramifications of his uncertain lineage. Brace yourself. The next chapter is even more gripping.
I joined Boy Scouts. I had to go with a friend and his father. Kind of felt like a third wheel when I watched them interact with each other and to the juries at Boy Scouts, and kind of just had to go friends and their fathers to do things.
And so all your life you felt this
Boyd and a longing to have a father myself to spend time with.
As we dive deeper, Mr. Tessner lays out his side of the story with a mix of confusion and denial. He explains his doubts about being Mr. Bradley's father, citing a brief and vague relationship with Mr. Bradley's mother, Mrs. Bradley. He emphasizes his lack of knowledge about the pregnancy and his surprise at being approached years later with a paternity claim. Mrs. Bradley admits to the ambiguous circumstances of her pregnancy and the possibility that she never informed Mr. Tessner, adding layers of doubt and misunderstanding to the paternity issue. Keep your eyes peeled because what comes next will definitely raise some eyebrows.
We only dated for about a month. I remember pulling over on the side road one time to make out. I cannot even remember having sex with her, that she was pregnant, or that a baby was born.
You were never contacted?
I was never contacted. His aunt brought him to my house, said he was my baby, but I didn't believe her because I had heard nothing from the mom, knew nothing about her being pregnant. I just thought she was messing with me.
Now, let's crank up the drama dial. A heated discussion ensues about the legitimacy of the name on the birth certificate, with accusations of deceit and wrongful child support payment directed towards the wrong man. The court learns that another man endured legal and financial repercussions based on potentially false paternity claims, which he contested only after significant personal loss. This segment underscores the legal and emotional complexities involved in disputed paternity cases. Just when you thought it couldn't get more intense, the courtroom is about to explode with revelations.
Why is she going after the other man for child support in 1984? And he's a roofer, and roofers only works part of the time. I'm in the military in 1984. If I'm the dad, why didn't you go after me then? I paid child support on my other kids.
This whole thing has been masterminded.
She just changes it to whoever's doing better. That's who she tells him his daddy is.
Get ready for the edge of your seat climax. The court prepares to reveal the DNA test results. Mr. Bradley and Mr. Tessner express their long-standing frustrations and the personal stakes involved. Tension is palpable, reflecting the high emotional and familial impacts of the impending revelation, which promises to resolve or further complicate their troubled relationships. Fasten your seatbelts because what's coming will turn everything on its head.
Me seeing him in jail, you can't give a man his freedom back. Or the times that he spent paying all that money buying me school clothes. I didn't get to know my great-grandmother. I didn't get to know my great-grandpa. I didn't get to know none of these people.
I would have been there if I knew the truth. I paid support on my other two kids until they was 8. I'm raising 2 of my grandkids right now.
Here it comes, the moment of truth.
It has been determined that Mr. Tessner, you are his father.
Buckle up, folks. Ms. Williams kicks things off with a fiery accusation, asserting that Mr. Glover is dodging his fatherly duties for their 10-month-old son, Ralph. She describes Mr. Glover as a man-child, more interested in playing mind games than stepping up as a dad, determined to prove paternity today. On the flip side, Mr. Glover counters, labeling Ms. Williams as a promiscuous groupie out to trap him into fatherhood to cash in on his burgeoning rap career. He firmly denies fathering her child. With the stage set for a drama-filled hearing, you won't want to miss what comes next.
You say you are furious that Mr. Glover is denying paternity of your 10-month-old son. You claim Mr. Glover, irresponsible man-child who would rather play mind games, and you intend to prove paternity today.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say Ms. Williams is a promiscuous groupie who hatched a complicated plan in order to cash in on your rap career.
Here we go. So, Miss Williams, what do you mean by he'd rather play mind games? She launches into a rant about Mr. Glover's antics, accusing him of using every trick in the book to avoid responsibility, especially when it involves other women. The narrative dives into how they met, with Mr. Glover painting himself as a well-known entertainer caught in her orbit during a video shoot at her apartment complex. He boasts about his fame, but Ms. Williams cuts through the fluff, accusing him of using his rap as a front to dodge real-life responsibilities. As the accusations fly, get ready because things are about to heat up even more.
Well, Your Honor, let me tell you about Mr. Glover right here. He plays a lot of mind games. When he wants to go out and be with other women and lie and cheat, then he starts to argue and say, well, hey, that's not my baby anyway. I don't have to sit around.
Well, I was doing videos in apartments that she was staying in. Everybody know me around.
You a famous entertainer?
Yeah, I was famous entertainer. City, state to state, I'm everywhere.
Did you catch that? Man, when I met you, you wanted to be a one-woman man, Ms. Williams recalls, detailing how Mr. Glover tried to sweep her off her feet, only to revert to his old ways once the honeymoon phase fizzled. She recounts a pivotal moment when she believed he wanted to start a family, only to find him backsliding and mingling with others when things got tough. Their back and forth reveals a relationship fraught with misunderstandings and mistrust, painting a picture of a love gone sour. Fasten your seatbelts because the courtroom is about to turn into a roller coaster of emotions.
Since the first day she met me, she always wanted me. She always chased me around every spot I ever went to. She always
and use your rap career and try to say that I want to trap. That's why we here today to prove you wrong, that I'm not trapping you.
Yeah,
Now,
we
you
gotta
knew
prove
from the
that
beginning,
today, then.
When
We
you
gotta
first
prove
met
that
me
today.
now, good hustle,
Oh,
getting
my.
my own good money.
What's this now? Enter Ms. Nolan, Mr. Glover's sister, who steps into the courtroom with some juicy tidbits about Ms. Williams' dealings with a so-called sugar daddy. She suggests that financial support might involve more than just friendly help, hinting at a more intimate exchange. As Ms. Nolan narrates her sleuthing at a hotel where she picked up clothes for Ms. Williams, the plot thickens with allegations of secret meeting and hurried exits. With each revelation, the story twists and turns. Hang on, because the bombshells are just getting started.
When it comes to a sugar daddy, a daddy ain't gonna be there unless you giving him some sugar. Her and my brother, they got in verbal disagreement at the end of December 2016. Jaleesa called me. She asked me, could I go by their place to pick her up some clothes? So I said, of course, yeah, I'll go by your house. Send me the address, shoot me the address. And I brought some footage.
Ready for the big reveal? The judge finally calls for the envelope containing the DNA results. Cutting through
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Glover, you are the father.
So where's the clap on, clap on, clap it.
Tear the tension like a hot knife through butter. Buckle up for this opener. Mr. Hamilton kicks things off with a bombshell, explaining to the court that he has serious doubts about the paternity of Ms. Lombardi's baby daughter due to suspicions of infidelity. He's pulling out all the stops by requesting a DNA test to confirm paternity and a lie detector test for Ms. Lombardi to clear the air on her fidelity. Just when you think it's all laid out, there's more drama just around the corner.
You have petitioned for a lie detector test on Ms. Lombardi, as well as DNA testing regarding her baby daughter. You say it is your belief that you're asking the court to administer these tests to help prove it once and for all.
Yes, Your Honor.
Talk about a plot twist. Ms. Lombardi fires back, countering Mr. Hamilton's claims and pointing out his overwhelming jealousy. She drops her own shocker by revealing that Mr. Hamilton had secretly conducted paternity tests on their other 3 children, weaving a thick web of distrust in their relationship. Strap in, because the ride gets even bumpier from here.
You argue that Mr. Hamilton is simply blinded by jealousy and paranoia. Previously went behind your back and had your... Today you're asking the court to rule against DNA testing for your... because you say it's not necessary.
Grab your popcorn, folks. Mr. Hamilton dives deeper into the saga, detailing the history of Ms. Lombardi's past infidelity, which prompted him to secretly test their other children for paternity. He's laying it all on the table, further explaining his current doubts about their youngest child, and just when you think you've heard it all, there's more to come.
I had to get our other 3 tested behind our back after she admitted to cheating with the first. You know, it was like, wow. And with the baby in your question right now...
We should not have to be here, Your Honor. I have 4 kids with this man.
You won't believe this next part. In a gripping turn of events, Mr. Hamilton describes a suspicious late-night encounter where he found a friend leaving their apartment, cranking up his suspicions about Ms. Lombardi's current fidelity and the paternity of their youngest child. The stakes are high and the tension is about to skyrocket. Keep your eyes peeled.
I see one of my buddies coming up my apartment.
Out your apartment.
2 in the morning, Your Honor. He's gonna tell me he brings some DVDs back. I let him borrow the week before. 2 in the morning, Your Honor.
True.
I go upstairs, she in panties and a t-shirt, no bra, away.
Things are heating up. The courtroom becomes a battleground as Mr. Hamilton and Ms. Lombardi exchange fiery accusations of lying and cheating. Mr. Hamilton stands firm on needing the paternity test, while Ms. Lombardi defends her integrity like a cornered tiger. Hold tight, because the next reveal is a doozy.
You are the liar.
Mr. Hamilton, I need you to give me more specific stories about why you're so doubtful.
I get home one day, I go upstairs, because, it was a special day for us. That I bought that never was open. It's half empty, but I didn't taste it.
Feel the intensity. Here comes the jaw dropper. In a stunning confession, Ms. Lombardi admits to infidelity with Mr. Hamilton's friend, throwing a wrench into the paternity issue and ratcheting up the emotional tension to new heights. Brace yourself, because the fallout from this confession is epic.
I cheated with your
What?
friend.
That ain't nothing. Oh, word? Really did that, man?
Yes, twice.
The night I came home?
I really did.
Man.
Yes, I cheated, Your Honor. It is a possibility.
Told you, man.
Oh,
yeah.
You in fact were
Yes.
cheating with that man.
Yes.
You cheated with him twice, and he could potentially be father of Janae.
Yes.
The suspense is killing us. After the DNA testing saga, both parties return to court, their nerves frayed and hopes hanging by a thread as they await the results that will determine the paternity of the child and potentially reshape their family dynamics forever. The big reveal is just moments away. Don't blink now.
And we're trying to determine the paternity of Janae.
I just want the results so we can put this behind us, Your Honor.
I understand, and I have those results. The results of the paternity testing, but also of Mr. Hamilton's lie detector test.
And here's the moment of truth. The judge delivers the monumental verdict that Mr. Hamilton is.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Hamilton, you are her father.
Oh my God, I told you! I told
Just when you thought daytime TV couldn't get any spicier, Ms. Miller kicks things off with a bombshell. She asserts that Scotty Rasmussen is not the father of her 3-year-old daughter, Zaylee. She tells Judge Lake that despite ongoing legal battles for custody, she has consistently denied Rasmussen's paternity, and requests for DNA testing have been rejected. Oh boy, strap in, folks, because this roller coaster is just getting started.
You're here to prove to your ex-boyfriend, Scotty Rasmussen, that he is not father of your 3-year-old daughters. You claim you've been in an ongoing court battle over custody and have petitioned the court several times for a DNA test, all of which have been denied.
Yes, Your Honor.
As if he's responding to a challenge, Mr. Rasmussen steps up with a passion-filled defense. He claims that Ms. Miller's denial of his paternity stems from personal animosity towards him, not from facts. He emphasizes his commitment to Zaylee, stating he has been present in her life since birth and seeks to establish his legal paternity through the court. Get ready for the next curve because the emotional pitch is about to go up a notch.
Mr. Rasmussen, you claim the real reason Ms. Miller is denying your Zaylee's father is she hates you. You've been there for your daughter her entire life, and you're here today to are Zaylee's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
With the courtroom hanging on every word, Ms. Miller delves into the gritty details of their past romance. She discusses the root of her grievances against Rasmussen, citing his infidelity as the cause of their relationship's demise, but clarifies that her primary issue is not hatred, but loss of respect for him. Brace yourselves. The next revelation is a doozy.
Yes, I was very mad at him for being a cheater. He cheated on me pretty much our whole relationship. No, I do not hate him because of that. Lost my respect for him, yes.
He says this is about visitation. He loves his daughter, but you don't want him to have the visitation.
Yes, Your Honor.
As accusations start flying like popcorn kernels in hot oil, Ms. Miller suggests Rasmussen's paternal claims might be motivated by money. She alleges that Rasmussen's interest in visitation rights is financially motivated, specifically aimed at claiming Zaylee on his taxes, which Rasmussen vehemently denies, insisting his motivations are purely paternal. Hold tight, because the plot is about to thicken even further.
Because I believe that the only reason why he wants the visitation is to claim her on his taxes.
That is furthest thing from the truth. I want my visitation because my daughter means the world. I want to be in her life as much as I possibly.
I mean, if he's driving 160 miles each way every other weekend, the money he would get taxes, he's spending in gas.
Things take a twisty turn when Ms. Miller throws a wrench into the timeline of Zaylee's conception. She casts doubt on the timing, arguing that Rasmussen could not be the father as he was out of state at the time, aligning her timeline with another relationship she had during their separation. Just when you think it's all out on the table, there's more to come.
She was conceived in March 2011. He wasn't even in the same state. He was in Vegas. At that time in March, I wasn't even with him. I was with somebody else because he broke up with me.
That you two have an on and off relationship that has infidelity woven through.
The plot thickens as more layers peel away, revealing deeper complexities. In a twist, it emerges that Rasmussen was originally considered Zaylee's only possible father and remained unaware of any doubt until months after her birth, highlighting the depth of their relationship's complications and the intensity of the ensuing custody, paternity disputes. And guess what? The emotional roller coaster doesn't stop there.
And still believe I was the only biological father until 5 or 6 months or so, give or take, after she was born. We were talking to the family court commissioner about things that go along with that, like where she'd be going to school, her doctor, and all that. Possibly not be the father because of another man that was involved. And she gave some date, I can't remember the specific.
As the courtroom listens in a mix of shock and awe, Ms. Miller's narrative flips the script. She contradicts Rasmussen's emotional recount of being present at Zaylee's birth, accusing him of being absent and uninvolved during critical moments, further complicating the narrative of his commitment. But hold on, because the drama escalates in the next act.
He ran out of the room. I didn't see him for 20 minutes after that. While I was in labor, he was sitting in one of those hospital cot beds on his computer in the corner, not paying attention to me in his own little...
I was on my computer, but that was far from it. I had to find a way to calm myself because I was so excited to be a father.
With the tension at a peak, the DNA results are about to drop like a hot new single.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Rasmussen, you are not the father. Miss Miller.
I'm sorry.